Well, hello, and welcome to the most generic podcast on the internet. My name is Josh Hawks. I am the 303 Ninja. And right over there, he is my podcasting partner for life. He is the other guy. It's Mr. Francis Fernandez.
Should be rocking out to your Muppets inspired theme.
It's like a Muppets and Office inspired kind of thing, I always kind of thought.
To me it feels very Muppets. It feels very I like that your pre
oh shit
comment in the chat room
is totally not right.
From last
it's
week.
From last week. I'm still learning, man.
What?
I'm still learning all this stuff.
There's a plane ride from hell. I already talked about that one. Hi everybody. Yeah, we're here. We're ready to go. We've got exciting stuff to talk about. I'm assuming that you're fixing.
I'm at least putting another message up. So at least.
Okay. Party on, guys. Party on.
Party on, Wayne. What's going on, man? What's happening?
Not much. Excited. Found it really funny that people talk for like at least 3 or 4 days about the casting of the new Super Mario Brothers cartoon. But that was really interesting that they talked about that for so long. I was like, oh man.
I'm a little surprised that that made so much damn noise.
It did. Totally did. I was like, what? I mean, I understand why, because people don't like Chris Pratt, but
when did that happen?
When he became, well, because he's a Christian conservative, so people can't have any of those in our Hollywood. But anyway, despite that point, he did a little video. It's funny because he did a little I don't know if it was Instagram or something, but he's like, hey, I don't know why he was whispering. He was whispering, hey, it's me, Mario. No, this isn't the voice I'm going to be doing, but we're working on it. Like, oh man, I'm kind of glad they're not using Martinet, I think his name is. Martha's gonna be mad at me for not
Mario, like the dude that's been Mario for the last 30 years.
Yeah, Mario, Luigi, Wario, Waluigi.
Yeah, I don't know what his name is right now.
He's doing a cameo for the movie, doing voiceover for the movie, but he's not Mario.
That's, I mean.
But I couldn't do that. I couldn't go, hey, it's me. Oh, I'm going to go to the Magic Kingdom. It's like, I couldn't do that for a whole movie.
Charles Martinet.
Charles Martinet.
Yeah. Charles Martinet.
I just couldn't do that. Could you watch a whole movie where the dialogue goes, oh, hello, princess. How are you doing? Yeah.
Francis, I used to watch the Super Mario Super Show.
Yeah, but he didn't talk like that in the Super Mario Super Show, though.
It was very similar to that. It was very Mario-esque.
No, well, sort of. It sounded more like...
Well, the original one it was Captain Lou Albano, I think, was the voice.
Who did not do that voice, though.
No, he was like a straight, just New York tough guy.
Yeah. I'm Mario.
And then there was 2 Mario cartoons. Right. There was the Super Mario Brothers Super Show, which I think that's the one with Captain Lou.
Yes, and that one had every Friday had Legend of Zelda.
Yes.
Excuse me, princess. Yeah.
And then there was definitely a Super Mario Brothers 3 cartoon.
Yes, there was. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
But there was one in between when Yoshi first got introduced.
So like a Mario World version of it.
Yes, okay. Yes. But I think that was actually it. It was like a Super Mario World cartoon. Mm-hmm. Both the Part 3 cartoon and the Super Mario World, both of those Marios sounded very similar to each other, and it was I don't know how to articulate. It was more exaggerated to the animated side to the voice, if that makes any sense.
So in other words, it was a little more Martinet than it was anyone else.
More Martinet than Lou Albano.
I'm trying to see who they had as guest stars, because I remember they had like one of the Ghostbusters on. They had Sergeant Slaughter.
I mean, to be fair,
Roddy Piper. Oh my goodness.
To be fair, Sergeant Slaughter like whored himself out to anything that would, put him on TV.
They had a dude called Arsenio Trinidad who played Obi-Wan Kenobi.
God.
Sorry. I mean, personally for me, that show, I grew up with that show. I watched it religiously.
Which one are you talking about, World or 3?
All of them.
Okay,
all the Mario cartoons. Yeah.
Word.
I mean, even Captain N, right? When Captain N was a thing.
Oh, the all 4 or 6 episodes?
No, he had a season. And the guy had like a little belt that had the controller on it, and he had powers, and he would often team up with Mega Man and whatnot.
I do remember Qbert was in there too, wasn't he?
Qbert was, which was weird because that wasn't a Nintendo property.
Right.
He had like the light gun as a gun, like use it as a gun.
I do remember that.
Hi, Ginger. Hello.
Hello. I do remember that. Remember that. That was great. That was good Saturday morning cartoon stuff right there.
But I mean, I'm just saying, like, there's Cyndi Lauper was in the Mario show. I'm trying to. Ernie Hudson was there.
There's your Ghostbuster.
There's my Ghostbuster. Nicole Eggert was there for probably promoting. Probably not Charles in Charge, but probably Baywatch at the time. I'm assuming.
Probably.
Yeah, but anyway, I just thought that's just like, I don't know. It's Elvira.
Hey, friend
Speaking
of the
which,
show and continuity from the last episode. That's great.
I love it.
That's great.
Yeah, Elvira's there. That's awesome. Anyway, so Jack Black as King Koopa. I don't know.
Bowser or Koopa?
Bowser.
Okay. I found it. I saw some of the casting, and I did think it was weird that they didn't choose Mario to play Mario, especially if it's going to be animated. But it's a Hollywood feature film, so of course they're going to get a Hollywood cast to voice everybody. And the guy that has been Mario for the last 30 years, that everybody has grown up with, is in a cameo role. That's awesome.
Yeah, it sucks, but I mean, the dude isn't a professional. What happened?
It's the exact same bone that they threw Frank Welker in the Bayformers movies.
Oh, right. Well, he played.
He was like, I am Megatron. And they were like, yeah, but we got fucking Agent Smith over here. And people know Agent Smith. I don't know what his fucking name is.
I don't either now, because I can only hear Agent Smith or V from Vendetta.
So, like, we're thinking about, oh wait, we are going to have Soundwave. But he's a satellite in space, and he gets 30 seconds of airtime. But you can do the voice.
Didn't he end up being the voice of Megatron for the rest of the series?
No.
Oh.
So I think somebody else did come in.
Ended up being the voice of Optimus Prime for the entire series.
Peter Cullen.
Peter Cullen, yeah.
Yeah, he stayed the whole time, and Frank Welker stayed on because he ended up being Soundwave. The car in the one with the blonde chick.
That's the third one. I know the third one. They get rid of toe thumbs in the third one.
I don't understand that reference, but yes, they got
rid
of
her thumbs look like their toes.
Oh, okay.
Megan Fox.
Megan
Fox's
Fox.
thumbs
That's
toes,
right.
Yeah.
So it was just weird that they, like I said, it's weird that when they cast these things and they put all these Hollywood people in there when fucking Mario is right over there chilling in his home studio waiting to go like, well, I did another Mario game. Now what?
Well, that's why they'll never get new voice acting talent in Hollywood.
That's why they haven't called us, Francis.
Well, I was gonna say we aren't gonna be in because 95% of all of those voice actors, they just cycle through them, and then they're like, oh, you know what, voice actors, you guys sit over there. We're gonna go get Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie, and we're gonna get whatever. Mm-hmm. We're gonna get these actors to do voice acting, which is a completely different thing than what you guys do. But we're gonna get them to do the voice acting because they're names, even though you'll never see what they look like. And yes, Brad Pitt has a very generic voice. You can't tell it's him. Like, when he speaks, you can't really tell. Oh, that sounds like Brad Pitt. He doesn't have like a George Clooney-esque voice, which is very distinct.
Sure.
Or Matthew McConaughey. But whatever. We're gonna get these guys to do the voice work for here, and you guys can just sit in the corner. Thank you very much. Goodbye. Yeah. I hate that. Like, it annoys the hell out of me.
I don't understand it. I really don't. I mean, I do, right? Because it's Hollywood. Yeah. But I don't because, like I said, the guy Mario's right there.
You know what we should do though?
I can't imagine Mario with a blue collar Oklahoma accent.
Exactly right. It's gonna be like, hey guys, Luigi. I don't remember how fire flowers work, and I'm too afraid to ask.
Like, I don't think you can auto tune a fucking Italian accent.
No, that was the other thing that people were upset about. It's like, you couldn't find an Italian
Well, and not that Charles Martinet is fucking Italian by any means, but like, I don't understand. You have the voice actor for Mario. He's right fucking there.
But I don't. He says like 3 things. He goes woohoo, and then it's me, Mario. And
sure.
He says like 5 things total.
Sure.
I mean, there's dialogue in here. He has to say a ton more things. I can imagine it's probably
linguini.
But Yoshi,
the meatball. Mario 64 sleep mode was fucking just amazing.
Look, I get people why the Switch is now allowing for an extra fee you can play Nintendo 64 games on the Switch.
I haven't, I got that Switch. I was all super pumped about it, and then it just sits on the charger. I still haven't caught all the Pokemon in that Pokemon game, but I'm just like, it's such a grind.
Oh yeah. I mean, I more look at the Switch more as like I get to play my old Nintendo games that having to because I took a picture of my old Atari 7600 the other day, and I'm like, hey, look, I have an Atari 7600, and I showed one of the games, which is the fabled E.T. game that was buried in the desert. I actually own an original game of that game. Awesome. It's weird though. It's like so weird. Like, I have that, but I also I have a bunch of other 2600 games that play on it. Anyway, that's beside the point. The point is I have also an original Nintendo, right? It has the price tag from 1986. It's the same exact Nintendo. I don't know why I kept everything. Just like I don't know why I kept this Atari in perfect condition. No scratches, no bumps, nothing. It's in perfect condition.
Was that a 76 or 78?
7800.
Okay.
Yep.
As long as it's not
buttons on the sides
for the controller. It's not a 52.
Came with pole position 2. But yeah, so I kept it pristine condition. Played it a lot. I remember playing it a lot, but it's in great condition. I have a Nintendo, same thing. It's not scuffed. It's not marked. It's perfect condition. But I'm not going to try to find plugs that work for the back of my TV.
Oh, sure.
Because TVs don't have those freaking AV, whatever holes anymore. It's HDMI or nothing. And it's like, I don't need to go through all that trouble. So
I'm sure they're out there. There is a RCA to HDMI converter.
Oh, well, 100% there is. I just don't want to bother.
Sure.
Fair enough. Especially since I have a system that already kind of takes care of that work.
Well, and if you really are hard up for it, for the same amount of money to get that cord, you could probably go get yourself a Raspberry Pi.
Yeah, that's true.
and hook that up with an HDMI cord.
I'm so sad Raspberry Pi isn't a thing anymore. Like, nobody cares about Raspberry Pi anymore. It's so sad.
I mean, mine's sitting in this closet over here.
And if anyone knows, it's a little tiny computer. It's pretty much just everything you need to make a computer. It's really tiny.
Fits in the palm of your hand.
Fits in the palm of your hand. You can emulate video games on it, which is what most people do. They get old video game cabinets and they put their little Raspberry Pi in there and they can play like a million games. Anyway, Martinet never going to play more. It's going to be like the mayor of. Oh, and then like Keegan-Michael Key is Toad, which I found fascinating. I'm like, oh, that's an interesting casting choice. And Seth Rogen is. He's gonna be Donkey Kong. Like, it's just the weirdest casting. Strangest casting.
Just weird. I don't.
The dude from Always Sunny is Luigi. Like,
Sunny, you're
Always Sunny in
Charlie Day.
Philadelphia,
Charlie Day.
Charlie Day, yeah. Charlie Day is Luigi. It's like, really? I guess.
I don't know. I mean, whatever. You know,
we need to do anime,
I think it's weird to not have the Mario guy be Mario, but whatever. It's a fucking Hollywood movie. Of course, they're gonna have Hollywood cast.
But I'm saying we need to do anime. That's how we're getting ourselves in voice acting. We gotta do anime.
Friend of the show. Oh fuck, I'm forgetting his name now. I totally spaced his name. But this guy that I interviewed once, he actually got his start doing voice acting by dubbing over and doing his own. He and his buddies doing their own scripts over anime. Like taking what was there and just changing the complete story, and then sent that in as like demo reels.
If I had the skill, the time, and the patience, I would re-edit an anime to do our little radio play that we did. I would 100% do that, and be like,
that would be awesome.
But I'd have to know anime better because I'd have to pick scenes and stuff. Anyway. Speaking of cartoons, you saw one recently.
I can't stop thinking at the thought of Luigi singing Dayman.
I mean, yeah. Oh my god. I mean, Charlie Day is fine. I have no issue with Charlie Day,
right?
Or anything. It's just Luigi. Like, Luigi, really? He's so panicky. He sounds like
Charlie Day. Charlie Day is the high pitched guy, right? On the show. I haven't watched Sunny enough to be familiar with all the characters.
Well, he was in Godzilla, and he was in he did a bunch of movies, and he's always the panicky guy. He's always like the guy that's like, "What's going on?"
Right.
But,
which you can see that as Luigi. That's kind of how Luigi's always been portrayed in any kind of. Really, with any kind of animation, whether it be in the video game or the cartoons, he's always kind of a scaredy cat.
Well, I think of his own game, right? Luigi's Mansion, where he's a ghost.
Sure,
buster.
But yeah, I mean, Super Mario 2, he all jumped all weird and shit.
Yeah, he wiggled his feet. He was the best jumper in Mario 2. No, not the real Mario 2, because the real Mario 2 is Mario 1 with more levels.
Well, yeah, true.
He was in Bad Boss, I think, and his boss was Jennifer Aniston, who kept sexually harassing him.
Oh, I mean, if you're gonna be sexually harassed by somebody,
by being like practically naked in front of him.
Francis, to have a little continuity from last week. I've been hearing people doing a lot of woos out there in the world.
Woo.
Yeah, woo. The Ric Flair woo. And I told a group of people that I was chit-chatting with, I was like, we should probably stop doing that. And they're like, well, why is that? I was like, you should probably watch this show, but he is apparently a sexual predator. And they were like, oh. I'm like, well, it's alleged, but, should probably stop wooing.
Oh, and it's horrible bosses. Sorry. The name of the movie is Horrible Bosses.
Horrible Bosses.
Bad Boss. It was Bad Boss. But yeah, I didn't know Ric Flair had a woo. I just woo.
Yeah, that's the thing he does. That's
Woo.
I'm Ric Flair. Woo.
Oh.
That's his thing. You did mention I did go see a movie, and we did mention the 80s a couple times in that last little bit there. But yes, I went and saw a movie for the first time since the pandemic has kicked off or recessed or whatever the fuck. I haven't seen a movie in well over a year. And the first movie I go to see is a 35-year-old movie. And it was awesome. There were a bunch of kids. A lot of kids enjoyed it. There's a kid in front of me that asked his dad everything after every sentence in the movie. Some sort of explanation as to what was going on. The kid sitting next to me was wide-eyed the entire movie.
Mm-hmm.
No special poster or anything.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah. I would think I got one for 30. You would think you'd get one for 35.
Yeah.
And otherwise, the people that made the most amount of noise were people my age, sitting in the back of the theater, trying to do like Mystery Science or something like that during the movie. I heard them chit-chatting, like giggling and making jokes and whatnot.
Again, that's a year and a half of watching movies at home where you don't have to worry about it. Yeah.
But it was cool. It was a good time.
Is it remastered?
It is the what the hell's the company called? Rhino something? Rhino Studios. I don't have anything within arm's reach. But it's a remastered copy. So it's all clean and everything.
Did you guys sing to the music? I hope.
There were a couple people that did. I was toe tapping. I was
here's the question.
Yeah, question.
Were there anyone else? This is going to sound terrible, and I apologize for asking this question, but I'm curious. Were there other people who were there, kind of just there, like, or were they all families?
The group of dudes that are around my age, our age, I should say.
Yeah.
I mean, they came as a group. There were a few families, and there were a few single dudes like myself.
Hey, look, I go to movies all the time by myself, so I mean,
it's something I've gotten more comfortable with up until the pandemic. Like going to eat by myself. If there's a bar, I'll sit at the bar.
Yeah. I'll sit at a table.
I don't like sitting at a table by myself. That's like fucking lonely. Somebody's gonna look over and be like, "Oh, look at that guy sitting eating by himself."
Nobody cares. I see people all the time. I remember going to like an IHOP by myself and be like, "That dude's by himself reading a newspaper." I mean, he's older than me, right? But whatever. Like, he's reading a newspaper, just pancakes.
I mean, I guess I've hit the IHOP a couple times by myself.
Yeah.
But something about dinner is like, if you're gonna eat by yourself, sit at the bar. People expect you to be lonely and sitting by yourself in a bar.
My most expensive meal ever was by myself, and I don't know if it was intentional, but they had me sit in a room away from everyone else at my own table. I was the only one in this room, and it opened up to other rooms, and the other rooms had tons of people in it, but I was by myself. And I ate my most expensive meal ever. There you go. Look, Talks Overdrive going to Chinese buffet by themselves. That's awesome. I would go. I've been to a buffet by myself in Vegas. It's fun. Because nobody cares. There's a lot of people just by themselves.
Right. Again, that's why I kind of go back to if you're eating by yourself, you sit at the bar because nobody cares. They expect you to be by yourself. If you're in Vegas at a buffet by yourself, nobody's gonna think anything because people are trying to eat all the crab legs. They're not. They're not looking at anything else. They're looking at how many crab legs can they take at one time.
Well, Josh, when you get to be my age, you stop caring what other people think.
Hold that thought for the conversation we're going to have later, Francis. because there's a lot there. But no, it was a good time. When the movie was over, the house lights come on. The kid that was sitting next to me was still wide-eyed. He looked at his parents, and he said, "I want to see more of that." And I just couldn't help it. Apparently, my mouth started working before my brain. And I looked at the kid, and I was like, "Well, you're in luck, little dude," because they put all 3 seasons on YouTube. And then I turned around and ninja'd out of the fucking theater.
And the kid who was that weird man who just told me about this YouTube stuff?
Yeah.
He's called a Transformer fan, son.
It's called a grown-ass boy adult thing. A man-child. He saw the first seasons when you had to wait till they were on repeat, on rerun. If you missed it, you missed it forever. Because you didn't know what episode you missed.
Can I just say something really weird?
Say it. I
don't watch TV because of this reason. Like, I don't watch TV anymore. I don't watch Netflix. I don't watch Hulu. I should, because, whatever. But I don't watch any of that stuff anymore because I know it's going to be there. Like, sure. I don't feel like if I don't watch it, I'm going to miss it because it's just going to sit there for however long the rights are to that place.
The watch list on Netflix, I think there's stuff on there that have like apparently never lost their license, and they're just sitting there from when I first joined it in 2005 or some shit like that.
Yeah, I feel like I'm like this. I mean, I've still paid for Netflix and I haven't touched it in months, which is stupid. But I have a friend of mine who shares my account. Shh, don't tell Netflix.
Don't tell Netflix. That you're doing the same thing everybody else is doing.
I know that everyone else is doing. So I'm like, I haven't got rid of the account because I'm like, whatever. I do on occasion know that there's going to be shows on there that I'm going to want to watch. But I don't feel rushed. I'm like, it's I don't have to worry. Because, it's not like TV back in our day, when TV was, if you skipped it, you missed it. You lost it. You just never got the chance to see it until reruns or unless you bought the VHS box set.
Exactly. See, there was a time when it was very difficult for a woman to go out and dine alone. It seems people would think that she was a hooker. That comment actually got flagged. By the mod, so I didn't see that when it probably got posted.
I mean, luckily it hasn't been that way for a long time, though. It hasn't really been that way for a while.
Right. Well, I wish somebody would think. I wish somebody would think I was a pimp while I'm by myself and come by and just drop a big roll of money on me. That'd be awesome.
I mean,
I don't dress good enough for that.
You don't have to, because again, I was hit on by a hooker, and I dress like I do now. So.
So Transformers, Super Mario. What else did I want to talk about? So this weekend, Francis. A couple things happened actually on the same day. They actually happened. We'll talk about the fun one first. There was a WWE pay-per-view, and in the main event, it was Roman Reigns versus the Demon Finn Balor, which is just a spooky version of regular Finn Balor. It's like if you get Finn Balor really mad, you bring out the demon, and he puts face paint on, war paint all over his whole body, and it's spooky and scary, and it looks cool. So they're having their match, they're telling their story, and right now Roman Reigns, the face, he demands to be acknowledged by people, and he's the head of the table, and he's the face. He's the face of the company.
He's and the face of WWE.
Yeah, and then you have the demon, good versus evil.
I'm under the impression that nobody even really likes Roman Reigns
right now. No, because he's a heel. He's a heel champion. Right.
Well, I mean, but not even now, but like. I mean,
okay, so yeah, to rewind time, nobody has really liked Roman Reigns from the beginning because he's been a Vince McMahon project from the beginning. He's been protected by Vince for years and years and years. He's been in a ton of WrestleManias where, and taken other people's spots, basically. There was a time where it was, he basically retired The Undertaker.
Here's the thing, folks who are maybe listening to this for the first time. I have zero knowledge of wrestling. I always find it funny that Josh really needs a wrestling podcast. I mean, because you love wrestling.
I do.
I mean, it's something that you're passionate about. And our third host, who is also into it, is sadly, busy, with seasonal stuff. And I'm just like, oh, I really wish I could contribute, other than my passing knowledge that I know that some dude is hated or some dude is beloved. Like because the only reason I know that Roman Reigns was hated was because I remember years ago there was some match where he won, and Twitter was just pissed that he won. Like, he didn't win. He should have won. There's no reason why Roman Reigns should have won. Like, there's no reason why this guy should have gotten the belt of whatever belt it was.
For sure.
And I'm like, wow, they really hate this guy. Like, they really hate this dude's guts. And to hear that it hasn't changed in like 4 or 5 years, I think, which is when I first heard about it, maybe even sooner than that, is just surprising to me. It's like, why do you keep someone around that the other wrestlers don't like, but that your audience doesn't like? But why keep that dude around? But
that's the thing. It's like art, Francis.
Oh,
if it evokes an emotion out of you, then it's doing its job.
Yeah, but it's also BS, because have you ever heard of the Museum of Non-Visible Art?
I would not want to go there. I'll just tell you that right now.
Well, so the Museum of Non-Visible Art is...
Oh, non-visible. Oh, wait, yeah. No, I definitely wouldn't want to go there. Yeah, not interested.
Yeah. So the whole purpose of this museum, and this is what I think about when I think about this, like this wrestling and whatever, is it's all just the concept. You go up to this empty space on a wall. It's just empty, but with a little card. And it said, "This is a dream. If you want to buy," and they're selling these things for like $30,000, $40,000, whatever. The card, because it's a concept. Oh, well, this piece is called a dream. This is where your dreams go to grow, and where you're, or blah 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 blah. And it's like, and somebody bought air. The one piece that sold a decade ago was air. The concept of air. This is flowing through your lungs. This is, making the trees sway. This is what makes the flowers bloom. And it's like, really? Someone just bought a card for like $20,000 that just tells you what air does. I hate everything. And I think about like wrestling. It's like, why are you doing this? Nobody, like, it's obviously meant for a very specific audience, like the Museum of Non-Visible Art.
Fair.
But you don't, I don't know, you just don't alienate your fan base, even if you are a project of the person who owns the entire franchise. You just don't alienate your fan base. You find someone people like. You put something out there that people are actually interested in, and not just a card that tells you what it is.
Sure. A few years ago, Roman Reigns came out. He cut this promo, and as soon as he started the promo, or it was about halfway through, he goes, "Look, my name's Joe," and he just went. He did a shoot interview, basically, or shoot promo, where he stopped being Roman Reigns. He was out there being Joe, whatever the fuck his name is, and he's like, "I have leukemia." And
oh, really?
I thought we'd had it beat. It's come back. I got to go away. And it was an instant face turn, right? Because he was a heel up until that point, and then he said that, and instantly he became a mega baby face. Did his leukemia, treatment, came back, mega baby face, but then they did a heel turn on him. And he went right back to
why?
Because because that's what WWE does, man.
Oh. Is this why it's not doing as well as AEW?
Right now? Yeah,
because
yeah.
they're making these really bad decisions.
They've been doing this for so long. Then you have this other product that's fresh and crisp, and they look back at WWE, and it's like, oh my god, this is stale, and they haven't changed anything in 30 years.
again, I don't watch. I don't follow. I've just watched whatever Josh tells me to watch.
Well, to get back
like
to
those two
that,
brothers that like fought each other because it was like a big deal. And,
yeah.
You know.
But to get back to this original point is that the demon Finn Balor gets on the top turnbuckle rope to do a move,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden, mysteriously, the turnbuckle just snaps and breaks, and he falls.
As if on cue.
Well, okay, yes, rigged. A rigged deployment of something to make that happen.
Right. Yeah.
But after Roman Reigns beats Finn Balor, he immediately starts looking up into the sky and pointing upwards. And then the announcer starts to sell it. And at one point, the announcer does say, somebody or something out there was looking out after Roman Reigns tonight. I think WWE is saying that God is a babyface. And he didn't want demons to win a match. That's how I took that.
I mean, it makes sense. But
even though Reigns is the heel, right? Can't be beat by a demon.
Making what's his face, the demon guy, a good guy or anything. He's a demon.
But that's what I'm saying. When you get him mad, when you get him fired up, when he's the underdog, he becomes the demon. Gets him fired up. Whatever. It looks cool. It sells toys.
That's it. Yeah, that's true. It does sell toys. Is Roman Reigns related to The Rock? That's what I heard, like a way long time.
They are cousins. Okay. They belong to what is known as the Samoan Dynasty. There were two Samoan wrestlers that were blood brothers, as the story goes. And they started to form the Samoan Dynasty from there. Like one of Samoan A daughters or sisters married Samoan B's son or brothers, and then The Rock came out of there somewhere, and a whole bunch of other wrestlers that are still popping up. Like every other week, WWE's like, yeah, we signed another Awani, which is the family name, I believe. Or we signed another Samoan from the Dynasty. I mean, how many are there? Jesus Christ!
I mean, Samoans are big guys. They're big.
Not all of them. There's a lot of them. There's two brothers. They're twin brothers that are cousins of Roman Reigns. So they're like an eighth of a cousin to The Rock or some shit. And they're tiny guys. They're little skinny dudes. I mean, they're fucking huge. They're wrestlers, right? But they're tiny guys. I know it's a total contradiction in a statement, but
what you need to do though?
What do I need to do?
You need to. That's weird. I'm frozen. Oh, there.
You're fine.
I was frozen for a second there. What you need to do is you need to find yourself a lady who loves wrestling and have her co-host with you a wrestling podcast because you love talking about it. It's like a big thing that you are very passionate about. You love it. Find a lovely lady, to who's not afraid to. They don't necessarily you can do it, just record the audio, but it's just someone who you can sit with and just rap about like all this stuff because you have history and knowledge and stuff that I'm just like I didn't know there was a Samoan Dynasty. I didn't know there was like this is weird. Like I didn't know that there was any of this stuff, and you know it, and you need someone who's knowledgeable about the sport and who's kind of into it as well and do a show because in all honesty I'd love to keep up,
sure,
but I still don't get it.
Sure.
I still don't understand.
I get it, and more than half the people that are out there listening, all 5 of them, like are probably not even interested. But it's just funny that WWE does some outlandish shit sometimes.
But that's the beauty of it.
It is also making.
We could call it. I don't know.
There has been talks in the background with the female co-host of this show and a dude I know on the outside world about maybe doing a show, but it's just never gone any further than like, yeah, it'd be a lot of fun.
That's why, look.
I was like, I already got a theme song already and everything, man. Like,
you go to Twitter. You know, hey, I love WWE and AEW. I'm looking for a female co-host to talk with me.
That's true.
She needs to be 5'3" now.
It's funny that you bring that up, Francis. Speaking with the ladies.
Unintentional.
Well, it's perfect timing that you bring it up because.
Oh, okay.
We need to talk about my self-confidence, Francis.
Well, yeah.
You're a
pretty confident guy. You do a bunch of stuff.
I just lost your camera for some reason.
I'm frozen with my eyes closed on Twitch, which is kind of fun.
Oh, and you're back.
And I'm back.
Man, your picture's all fucked up, so I guess I have to fix that now.
But you're a confident guy. You do interviews at conventions. You talk to celebrities. You put yourself out there all the time. So yeah, I have confidence that you have some pretty strong confidence. So talk to me about it.
It's funny that you just mentioned all of that, Francis, because that's almost verbatim what I fucking wrote down this afternoon.
This is why we podcast together.
This is why we podcast, my friend. So, yes, as Francis was just saying, man, as I'm about to repeat, apparently,
it's called emphasis.
Right. I have issues with self-confidence, as I stated, but I have no fucking problem squaring off on somebody. I have no fucking problem screaming at you if you do something stupid with your car.
What if some drunkard in a bar tries to? What if some drunkard in a bar tries to pick a fight with the bartender?
I am there as backup. That's not my fight, so therefore I don't need to be involved until the guy that's in the fight gets overpowered. But I'm there to watch the guy run into a sign like cartoon style and smash his face into a street sign when he gets asked to leave. That was hilarious. I have, like I said, no problem screaming at somebody in the car. I have no problem running this show moderately well, whether it be the audio or video, because at some point I forget to do one of the other. Don't hit record on something, forget to do a sound bite, whatever. I've done moderating. I've interviewed celebrities that are on TV and movies and shit.
You're on TV.
I've been on TV. I can't talk to women at all.
Well, first off, women are scary.
The other things I had written on here. My voice is a phone system to a company.
What do you mean? That doesn't make sense to me.
Like, when you call the company and the automatic thing picks up, I'm the voice of a phone system.
I thought you meant like you sound like you just like to sound like a guy, or you just sound like those voice automated voices.
No. I got to do one. I've sold weed to celebrities and sports entertainers and sports stars. Right? I have no problem talking to any of these people. Stephen Amell looked at me with his pretty fucking eyes, and I was like, I can still ask him questions. Can't talk to women. Can't talk to women. I'm going to tell you a story, Francis.
All right.
We are pulling the curtain back big time.
All right.
We're going real life here. Okay. I've been hanging out with a lady. It's been a lot of fun. It's been, amazing, right? Somebody actually wants to spend some time with me. Now, of course, they're nowhere near my age. but that's irrelevant.
So they were like 60, 70?
Yes.
Mm.
No. But hung out a few times. Enjoys the marijuana as I enjoy the marijuana. Come over, have some marijuanas with me. First time coming over, hanging out with me one time, a month ago or so.
Okay.
We're just barely getting to know each other. Come over, have some marijuanas, and we somehow were cuddling later. Yeah, it's cool. We get a cuddle in. Haven't cuddled in a while. Still a little confused by it all. Like, I thought we were friends. But whatever. Friendless cuddle. I cuddle with Francis. It's cool.
Yep.
So, we hang out this past weekend. We do the same thing. Go get some foods. Come back, have some marijuanas. Assume the cuddle position. And things are heating up a little bit. I'm like, oh, this is kind of cool. I'm down for this. But then, Francis, there's this thing that lives inside of me. It's the demon, Finn Balor. He lives inside of me. And I started to have a panic attack with this pretty girl laying next to me who was down for some extracurricular activity.
Down with the sickness. Gotcha.
Down with the sickness. She was feeling the vapors.
Oh.
My nervous ass started having a panic attack. And, just went with the heavy petting. And I'm just mad at myself. Because extracurriculars could have happened. But my body was like, no, you are going to sweat your balls off. Not in a good way. And, you're just going to have a panic and overthink everything.
Wow.
So, it was nice to have a good cuddle. It was nice to, have some physical contact with somebody. But damn, what help me out, Francis. You go.
I need to
drink something.
That's involuntary. It happens, right? It's not something you have control over necessarily. You can try to calm yourself down. You can try to do some exercises that allow you to kind of focus and kind of get back into the groove of things.
Sure.
But for the most part, you did the right thing in the sense of you allowed yourself the space and the time. But I feel like I think given our ages and given our kind of mentality growing up, we have to be okay, especially telling younger people who are like in their 30s and 20s and stuff, that what happened. Because that whole kind of like anxiety and mental stuff, that's a very millennial, Generation Z, Zoomer type of thing that is so accepted and appreciated. Even they kind of give you points if you're willing to actually talk about it and actually willing to share that kind of stuff.
And I did say, like, look, I'm having a bit of a panic attack here.
Okay.
Like,
see, and that's good. Yeah.
Like I don't. Hopefully there's next time.
All I know is, for me, this is a little weird because I know the context of what's going on. It's weird, but it's okay.
Yeah. I mean, look, it is what it is.
Yeah. So
I thought about that, but when I started writing this topic down, but I was like, you know what? We're talking about it. Fuck it.
Well, the fact that they're even, just the fact that there's a comment at all just makes it funny to me. It's like, I don't know if I could, if the roles were reversed, I don't know if I could ever even brought it up knowing who's I don't know. But either way, being able to talk about that stuff, it's a thing that's kind of really normal and sure. Actually guarantees a time, guarantees a next time.
Yeah. And it wasn't like, clothes got, articles of clothing got put back on, or jackets found or shoes put back on immediately, whatever. It wasn't like someone storming out of the damn house. There was still some friendly cuddling that happened. So it wasn't, that's what I'm saying. I don't think she was all like turned off by the whole thing or like, oh, this guy's a fucking idiot.
Well, and also they're going to be more inclined and more enthusiastic to try to solve the problem, right? Because they're going to see that as kind of a hurdle now.
Sure.
Like, oh, there's a hurdle they have to kind of jump. And so they'll be more interested in making you feel comfortable and making you feel, because that's a thing that just, that's kind of like the MO nowadays. Like, oh, how do we, fix this? How do we make this person feel welcome or fine in whatever situation we want it to be in?
Sure.
And so she's going to feel even more like, how do I make sure he doesn't feel it again? What do I need to do?
Right. Well, I think also like going through my head, I was like, back in my head, I'm like, damn it. You didn't learn your lesson from the last time. Some girl chased you.
Help with anxiety?
What's that?
Doesn't weed help with anxiety?
Yeah. I mean, it can go either way.
Oh,
right?
Oh, it can increase it?
Not saying, yes, it totally can. If you're an anxious person and you smoke a sativa, fuck yeah, you're gonna, there goes the fucking internet again. You'll be bouncing off the walls and heart palpitations and whatnot. Hang on, your picture will correct itself in a second. Sorry, everybody. I don't understand.
I just blowing myself up into a big screen and then.
I don't understand why the internet gets a burp in it and it somehow blows up your picture to like 500% of what it was. I don't get that.
I know, but Road to 2000.
Oh, wrong button.
You know what? You don't do that. Because when you introduce yourself, you don't use. Oh, I'm gone again. You don't use the sound effect for your name.
Yes, I do.
Do you? I don't hear it.
It's in every episode. It is on the quieter side because, it doesn't need to be. I don't need to be front and center about everything. Come on, picture, come back. This is fucking highly annoying.
That's all right. Here's the question to the chat room: does the audio go away, or is it just the picture? If the audio stays the same, then I think it's fine. If it's just the picture that screws up every once in a while, who cares?
Sure.
Right?
Yeah,
they're not here to see our pretty faces.
I mean, we did this for 8 years with no pictures.
We preferred it that way. I mean,
no moving pictures or anything.
Who needed to see our faces? I mean, it's just that the internet
people think you're white
or black, depending on how tired I am.
That's true. That's true.
So, no,
but yeah, I think I'm pretty confident there'll be at least another opportunity.
Confident
now. Confident in the sense of, I think there'll be another time, another opportunity to hang out at least. And that's what I'm saying. My confidence is all over the place. He said, I have no problem if there's something going on at, say, any workplace. I have no problem going to somebody being like, yo, what the fuck is going on over here?
Yeah, I mean,
or in some sort of a friend situation where somebody says something fucking totally out of school. It's like, yo, what the the only person on the planet that still uses that slang that you just said?
Criminy. A lot of dudes would love to be in your position. There is a shortage of relationships in the current modern world. There's a shortage of sexual experiences amongst younger people. I mean, I'm talking about 20s somethings and stuff. There's a shortage of marriages, a shortage of relationships. People don't want to get together anymore. It's just the world is topsy-turvy, and it's interesting to kind of see how it's really evolved. Because I paid really close attention, having been single for so long. I paid really close attention to how dating has happened, and how kind of it's kind of devolved into like the hottest 10% of men get all the women. And the 90% of regular looking dudes like us get no one. and it's really just a roll of the dice or like a luck of the draw, or again having a sexy voice like we do apparently, or something. Whatever the reason is that the women happen to be in our lives.
Why the fuck? Why weren't we gifted these microphones and these internet connections back when phone sex was a thing?
I mean,
like all through the 90s.
I did that on the regular phone. Are you kidding me?
Well, I did too, but you know, that's I want to be paid for it, Francis.
But yeah, that's true. I ended up when I was a teenager, and I was doing this with the ladies. I racked up a terrible phone bill that, you know, being a teenager and not living on my own, my parents had to get the phone bill, and they're like, "Who are you calling in all these different states? And why are you doing it for so long?" I'm like, no. My voice would go from nothing to nothing.
See, I was smart, Francis. I got phone cards.
I eventually started getting phone cards, but I mean, I wasn't working. You know, I was 14, 15. I wasn't really working.
I mean,
no.
I was an apprentice and had odd jobs here and there. So,
yeah,
you know.
Actually, not 14. She's 15, 16. But I didn't know. I wasn't working at the time. 16, I wasn't doing 17, the whole...
yeah.
I mean, you can work at 16. You can work at 15 and a half here in California.
You can lie about your age and still get a job doing whatever the fuck you want, as long as you're convincing of it. Again, going back to the self-confidence. Like, I was able to walk into a grease monkey, you know, not totally of age, didn't have a worker's permit or nothing like that, and be like, I want a job too. Mm-hmm. And they're like, yeah, sure. You fill out the application. They're like, well, do you have a, you know, how many hours can you work? Or, you know, I don't know, 20. It was like supposed to be like 12 or some shit like that.
Well, really? Oh,
yeah,
wow.
I don't remember what it was, but you know,
that's
like,
the thing. That's what I'm saying.
I was told numerous times by somebody, that dude that I was apprenticing for, if you walk into a joint and you walk into it like you own it, nobody's gonna say anything to you. Usually. Nobody's gonna question anything.
Usually.
Yes, it's a blanket fucking statement, but like I get what he's saying.
Yeah.
And
you're right.
And there's a lot of instances that you and I have been in, Francis, where you're not on the list. Well, I was fucking told to be here.
Well, yeah, right.
You know, and winky winky, I'm cute. And you know, well, you know.
Is that what you did?
Well, I try. I try. I mean, it doesn't work, but I try.
And then go, hey.
I try and show some cleavage and shit.
I know.
But
I didn't wink. I should have winked. I should have done, hey, wink.
But, you know, charm or something has gotten you and I into some pretty fun situations.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But, you know, you haven't... You actually try... You have seen me try to spit raps at a chick one time in a public place, and I failed all over the place, and I just didn't realize it. And we walked away, and you were like, you came on really strong. And I was like, I don't fucking know.
I mean, which is funny because every other time it's effortless for you. They come to you. You don't have to go to them.
Yeah, well, like the last three ladies that I have had some sort of a, you know, relationship with of some kind have all been like, yeah, chased after me, and I've just been like, huh? They're into me? You're into me? Oh, okay.
You're the rabbit and they're the fox, and they're like, yeah. Let's do
like
this.
One girl decided that, well, her ploy was, it's really late. I can't go home to my roommates.
Oh.
I was like, well, okay, I guess. It's weird. You're a customer at my store.
So.
Oh, okay. I guess we're a thing now. All right. That was weird.
No, so someone wrote on Twitter once, and the answer was overwhelmingly yes. But a woman asked, "Do men mind if women make the first move?" And all the men said yes, because we're clueless. We don't know if someone's interested. Like, we just don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been saying that forever. You know, I've been saying that since I did for 10 years. For the last 10 years, I've been saying men have zero. Usually, most men have zero idea that a woman is interested at all. We have no idea. There's no. You pretty much have to write it in sky lettering for us to get it. And you can't just say you. You have to put our name, our address, and our social security numbers. So we know it's us specifically.
Right.
Otherwise,
Yeah.
I have no idea who you're talking about.
Totally.
Josh? I mean, there's the Josh from over here, and the Josh, like, our brain doesn't go to us. It goes to, oh, well, there's that Josh in over here. Like, that's what we think. We don't think, oh, that's me.
Hey, right? Guapo, yes. Even then, we're in doubt. You are correct.
Exactly. Luckily, some people are not aggressive, but they're exactly. Well, okay, they're off by one digit, and they're like, "Oh, well, that's not me, obviously."
Right? Yeah, they got wrong Josh. Yeah,
wrong guy. But that's the. Yeah.
But what'd you say? Parents.
I said, go ahead.
Oh, the lady that I was just talking about. She went to great lengths to show me that she was really interested and did one of the freshest things I've ever had anybody do to me. Where's your bathroom? Went in the bathroom, got butt booty, just walked out of the bathroom like, what's up? And I was just like, oh, okay.
That's a dude move. That is a dude move.
Yeah, it totally is. Right. But I was just like, oh, okay. You are into me. All right. I needed you to spell it out for me.
Yeah, every other person. I mean, I had an ex of mine be like, when I was pursuing her, she said, "Didn't you know I was interested in you?" I'm like, I had no idea. It's like I dressed provocatively for you all the time. I made sure I had cleavage. I made sure I showed off my midriff. I made sure I had my ass. Like, I'm like, I didn't know. I just thought you dressed that way normally. Like, why would I know that was specifically for me?
I mean, I've seen the lady folk, flirt with you, and I walk away and be like, yeah, she's into you, right?
Right.
Well, and you're like, huh?
Well, but that's the point, though.
But she's
right?
got
the point
she's with somebody. Doesn't mean that she's not interested in you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, we all know. I know that one. Yeah. And look, I mean, yeah. Thank you. Yeah. See.
Yes.
Men are bad, definitely bad at reading signals. We can't. We don't understand.
I can tell you when language. I can tell when people are fucking lying to me. Right? I can sniff a rat. But fucking, it's funny. It's just, I laugh at myself. I was highly disappointed with myself. I said I wasn't going to talk about it, but it's too real. It's too real of a thing not talk about it.
Yeah, and again, you kind of approached it in the right way. I mean, you could have easily just bombed it by like trying to lie about it, or trying to.
Sure, I still think I bombed it, but that's
push the situation. Well, you didn't bomb it. You bombed it in the sense of like you weren't ready to kind of you're but a wee lad, not ready for the next step. You're not ready for the adult relationships yet, lad.
Right. Right. No, it was just sometimes you just gotta sit back and giggle. Right.
I mean, look, dating nowadays specifically is so weird, and it's so complicated, and it's just so tough.
Like, what do you talk to people about? Like, even if you know something about somebody, like you bring things up with people. I think they want to talk about this. They're interested in this kind of thing.
Well, look at this. I have I'm currently in a relationship, right? And it's weird because it's with a person of whom we do have a lot in common, and we talk again pretty much every night, and we still have things to talk about. We still have things that we can discuss. Or whatever, and we find new things, right? Things come up, new things pop up, and it's a crazy kind of situation. And it's long distance, so that's all we have, right? We don't have like the ability to cuddle, right, or the ability to kind of just hang out, which sucks because after a while you kind of run out of things. You kind of circle back to old things, and it kind of gets stale after a while.
Sure.
Luckily, not yet. Right.
Right.
But that was a weird. But we're of the same. See, the difference is we're similar age, so we know kind of like the building blocks of relationships back in the 90s and like the 2000s and like not the 80s, we were children, but 90s, 2000s. We know the building blocks of like hooking up and like getting to a relationship and letting, whatever. But like I think of like the young people now, and I'm just like, they want to be with somebody, they want to get with somebody. They get with someone who is, twice their age or something.
Yeah,
like
but
they
that's
go with older people. It's like that seems to be the kind of the common thing. Is that they get other people. Don't worry about it. If you, like I said, we have so far people haven't said they can't hear us, so they can hear me. That's all that matters. Yeah. But they get with people older than them. They get with people who like are more mature, especially women, because men, they're screwed. Men in the current age are just screwed, and luckily, Josh, you exist for men to hate, because again, you are effortlessly, and again, third time in a row, effortlessly getting women to be interested in you. And it's just like, whatever, brush your shoulders off.
Yeah, just,
I mean, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Hate is going to hate. Yeah. And that's just kind of the life you live. And it's actually very sweet that you still get anxious despite the fact that they're chasing after you. You have zero work to do. Zero effort. It's just that you just have to simply exist, which is a thing men have been wanting for their entire life. They just want to exist, and it just shows that you have a personality that brings girls to the yard for your milkshake.
For milkshakes, Guapo. I think the confused face you're referring to the loss and enlargement of Francis, the internet connection. Don't act like it didn't happen. But yeah, it's just interesting because, like I said, I don't want to break too much kayfabe. Situations have come up in my life where they're like, "Hey, you've been working at this workplace. You're gonna train this person." Out of nowhere, there was no prior conversation. You're just gonna start training this person, and it's like, okay, you have the confidence in me to do it, and I have the confidence to do it, right? It's funny how it just kind of, it goes up and down and wanes, and I don't know what.
It doesn't, though. It only when it comes to the opposite sex where you have this issue. It doesn't happen anywhere else.
It really does. I mean, like, getting up in front of the moderating responsibilities takes a heavy toll on me because I'm up there faking the funk for an hour in front of like 300 people.
But between you, me, and Jay, who is another podcaster, you always got the hardest celebrities to interview. You always had the hardest ones. Jay and I always had the easiest ones. They were willing, they were willing to talk. They were willing to kind of engage. They were never angry. They were never upset. They were just like, they were there for the fans, and they were there for the moderator. And every time you did a moderation for these celebrities, it always boggled my mind that you got these really difficult, like my most difficult one was this one G.I. Joe artist, right? Who was like
Larry Hama.
He was tough, but then just like
he opened up.
Yeah, he opened. I don't know why, like, because I didn't know anything about. Like, this was kind of a last minute thing. I didn't know anything about him. I didn't know anything about his work, and whatever. I just kind of winged it, and all of a sudden we're like, oh, all right, let's just talk, and we talked for the whole hour. Like, he actually opened up and wanted to engage, and I'm like, that's great, especially since there wasn't a lot of people there anyway. It's like, yeah, come on up, sit on the. We all sat up
on the stage.
Yeah, and we just all kind of hung out and stuff, and it was really cool, and it was a thing that. Long hair sucks. I like it because it's such a different look for me, but it sucks against my face. Anyway, but so.
Oh yeah, I have the same problem.
You have the difficulty. Sorry,
it's fine.
You have the difficulty of having to navigate and wrangle and kind of, maneuver people who are just kind of half interested in what's going on.
Do you remember? I won't break kayfabe to who it was. But do you remember there was a short-haired lady that everybody...
I know exactly.
Everybody at the convention was excited to come and listen to stories from the short-haired girl. So tell me, short-haired girl, what was it like being on the set of this movie working with these people? It was fine.
Yeah. You know what's funny was...
Fuck.
What's funny was afterward, she's like, yeah, let's take a picture. And like just super excited.
Let's take a picture. Well, it's because
like,
she wanted us to buy her alcohol.
That's true.
She had other people. She found some other simps to do that.
And then we found out she was like, oh no, she's underage.
Just
a little, yeah.
Like 3 months, just.
It's still technically.
Oh yeah, still technically illegal in another state. Yeah, I'm not getting involved in that.
No.
But it's like, yeah, it's just it's funny, and like I said, those situations where I am out in front of a 10 to 300 people, I'm faking the funk the whole time. And then you see every time I get out of that, I'm just like, oh my God, I need a joint, or I need some air, or both.
Oh yeah, no, I get you. I mean, every one I did, I was like, oh my God, I need a break. Like I can't just go to my neck. I can't just do one and after the other. I need to, like,
it's
I
taxing.
need to gather myself.
Like the only ones that I've been really comfortable with is a local comic book artist here in Colorado, where I had to moderate a panel for her, and there was only like 6 or 8 people there, but it was super comfortable the whole time. And Veronica Taylor, Ash Ketchum, like, I think because of how we met her before the panel, her trying to scarf her lunch down and try to talk to us at the same time, that was just like, God damn it, an immediate connection. It was an immediate connection that stuck. In 2 years after that meeting, I was able to contact her and have another interview with her, and she was like, hell yeah, I remember that, and I remember you. Yeah, no problem. Yeah. So it's weird that that one still taxing, but it wasn't so detrimental to my brain. And so it's odd that I just can't have that same sort of like, here we go, even though half the people that I've done moderations for or interviews with are all female.
Yeah, but you're not cuddling with them.
But I'm not trying to cuddle with them or grab their booties or
That's
nothing.
the biggest issue. It's like you're not
trying there may have been something I may have wanted to. But
no, don't get me wrong. Of course, right? Yes, right. I mean, hell, my namesake. I was like, yeah, we can cuddle. I'm good with that. It's just like, yeah. I mean, of course. There's a lot of celebrities like that because that's what makes them celebrities. They're incredibly attractive, and they're usually. I got all the ugly dudes, but that's fine.
I've told a story before about how I met Bria Grant. She was an actress on like the 3rd or 4th season of Heroes, and she's done some other things. Yeah. I found her very attractive and cute. Yeah. And she was at a Comic-Con, and I went up to her and I was like, hey, my name's Josh. I do this podcast. And then as soon as I was done introducing myself as to who I am and what I do, I realized I was trying my best to spit raps, and which is my way of saying flirting. And I realized what I was doing, and I was just like, okay, well, I don't know what else to say. And I almost probably did say, and I'm going to exit stage left like sourpuss and shit. Snaggletooth. I can't remember who said that.
Snagglepuss.
Snagglepuss. Snaggletooth. That was Jewel. No, in a cute way.
Who will save your soul?
I mean, that's what made Jewel so cute. She had a snaggletooth.
Yeah, she has this tooth.
Yeah. What was that? What the fuck was I just talking about? I got thrown off by Jewel.
You were spitting raps.
Oh yeah, I was spitting raps at Bria Grant, and I just exited the situation. Yeah. Later that night at the Hobnob bar, I'm at the bar trying to get a drink, and Bria Grant comes up, sits at the bar next to me, recognizes me, and said, "Why did you just leave earlier?" And I looked at her and I said, "Oh, it's because I realized all I was doing was flirting with you or at least trying to, and I have nothing professional to say to you. And she thought that was funny, bought me a drink, gave me a hug, and slinked off to Celebrity Corner.
That's the thing. A lot of these celebrities encounter that a million times.
Oh, sure.
Right? Like, you're not the first person to try to flirt with a celebrity.
Oh, no, not at all. Not at all.
And, you know, we were just, you know, for, you know, X number of years, we've been very fortunate to have these opportunities to talk to these people. And we will cherish it for the rest of our lives.
Well, totally. And there's more to come. There's definitely more to come.
I mean, look,
Francis could take it or leave it, but that was your attitude from the beginning.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because I feel like I'm glad that I took a break from conventions. I think I was getting a little tired of them.
Sure.
I mean, not tired of meeting people, mind you, meeting you guys, hanging out with you guys and stuff, but I didn't like the venue had to be a convention. I didn't like that the venue had to be us rushing around, trying to get content, trying to take pictures, trying to go to panels or whatever, or go to whatever to cover.
Mm-hmm.
I started not liking that part. I just liked the fact that I got to hang out with my friends and eat, you know, at restaurants and go hang out at you know, downtown districts and just like have fun and hang out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that was the thing that I really, really enjoyed. And after not going to a convention for like a year and a half, I'm like, oh my God, I don't miss conventions. Like, I don't miss it like anyone, like others people do. Right. And I know that I'm kind of bound to go to another convention next year, Dragon Con. I'm kind of bound to do it.
When Gigi Edgley tells you you have to go.
Yeah, that I have to do it.
I mean,
she commanded me. Yeah.
It's kind of hard to say no to her.
Oh yeah, she's fantastic. I hope she'll remember me from that, because she seems like the type that would remember, but because not everyone does, right?
Sure.
Celebrities meet so many different people, but she was super cool, and I would love to meet up with her at Dragon Con and hang out and do stuff. Like, that'd be fun. I just know that I'm like, I don't miss conventions at all. I miss my friends. Don't get me wrong. I miss my friends, but I just do not miss that world.
And I think what, you know, kind of going with that is that some of my friends that I met and only see at Comic-Cons now.
Yeah.
Because
we have a whole group of people.
Yeah. We have our whole Detroit and
East
Philadelphia crews. You know, like, I feel that if we were, you know, in Detroit for whatever reason, I don't know why the fuck we'd want to go, but let's say we went to Detroit. Like, I think 3 or 4 phone calls, and we'd be taken care of for the weekend by going to events or going to a concert or having somebody's tub to sleep in or something. Like, I think we would be covered. Same thing with if we went to the Philly side of Pennsylvania. You know, it all came from these conventions.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, a lot of our friendships and a lot of the people we kind of know. I mean, half my Facebook is people from conventions, but you know, it saddens me that we've all, you know, this past year and a half is kind of like we've all kind of branched out. Right, everyone is kind of doing their own thing. We don't really. I mean, as far as I know, I don't really communicate with a lot of them. They make. I mean, maybe you do, but I don't really communicate much with them.
I try to as much as possible, because you know, it's just, I don't know. I like to keep those connections fresh and
again.
But that's but nobody looks down upon you about that, Francis. They all know.
No, they don't. I don't think they do.
I think they do. I think everybody understands that you're a little bit more on the secluded side.
Yeah, I don't really. Yeah, because I don't really post anything. I don't really talk. I just kind of keep to myself mostly. But if they want to do a podcast together,
right?
I show for that.
But it's funny that I just, like I said, I keep saying it's funny. Yeah, I don't know if it actually is or not, but I just need to find whatever that bug is that I find in conventions to do the convention thing, to just translate it into real life, into IRL.
But it's more of, to me, especially the ladies, for women, for dating or for anything that deals with women, it's totally just kind of like you can't feel it out like you feel a convention out. A convention is just like, here are the rules. Go ahead, go to a convention.
Sure.
Celebrities.
I mean, yeah, fun. They have like, little cartoon animated, figures of what's allowed and what's not allowed.
Right, exactly. But it's a set of rules, and it's like, hey, just do this, that, and the other thing.
Mm-hmm.
You're fine. This is why I don't like. I have never gone back to a customer forward job. I don't go to customer forward job. I don't go a customer front job where I have to actually talk to someone.
Sure.
My job is dealing completely with machines and completely with inanimate objects, because people are unpredictable. I don't know what people can do. I don't know what people can say. I don't know if people will how people will react, because depending on their mood, depending on the weather, depending on how the different planets align.
Sure.
Everyone acts differently, because of whatever that's going on in their vastly complicated life, and you have no idea.
Totally.
Right. And that's why I avoid people. And that's why with women, it's just so hard. Doubly so, because there's a whole other set of rules. There's a whole set of rules and a whole other set of parameters you can't even see, because it's different per woman, per situation, per whatever. And it's just like, oh my God. Like, I am lucky that I'm in the situation that I'm in. Like, this is 100% luck. Like, this would not have happened organically any other way, other than, funny enough, she pursued me, right? So, like, I didn't have to do too much work. And so now that you have someone pursuing you, you kind of just let them take the wheel, let them write the rules, let them do their thing.
Oh, for sure.
And then let your anxiety happen, and they will calm it down. And they'll find a way to do it too. Especially if they are interested in you enough, they'll just find a way to calm you down. Whether it's all sorts of things that we won't talk about on here, or things that we can talk about on here.
We won't talk about them on here.
All right.
That we hit, as I like to say, we hit all of the bullet points that I had for this evening. We started a little late. We went a little late. What'd you say?
Welcome to Points of Interest After Dark.
Speaking of that, Francis.
Oh, really?
Well, kind of. So I haven't yet hit the go button on I don't want to say it. What's it called? Patreon.
Oh, Patreon. Yeah.
I believe I am going to hit the go button on the Patreon. So hopefully some people out there will be interested in that. I think what we're going to do is,
After Dark episodes.
And After Dark, we're going to call it After Dark. I have 4 episodes of After Dark that are out now that are more adult content centric. But I think we're going to use the After Dark moniker for the Patreon special thing. We haven't quite figured out what that's going to be yet, but I do think a poll of different topics will definitely be put out for the Patreons, which need to come up with a name for our Patreons, Francis.
It's called Patreon.
No, we got to come up with a name.
Patreon.com/Points of Interest POI Podcast.
No, like we get for the people that join, we need to come up with a gang name, or what are we gonna call them? Like, we're gonna call them pointers.
Yeah, because Gigi Edgley of Farscape and Star Trek Continues fame calls her group the Tribe.
Right.
Jeff has been for Super Geeked Up, which is going on tomorrow. We don't have like a name for our fans, like the people who listen. Even though we have like a bunch of regulars, we just don't have a name for them. And I'm like, you've been doing this for how long? You still don't have a name for your fans?
Right.
He's been doing this for like almost a decade, and he still doesn't have a name for his fans. But
we need to come up with a name for our fans. So we're still working on that. Hopefully there's some interest out there, but we'll find that out when I hit the go button, I guess, and let everybody know. But we're thinking if you want to join our gang of misfits, we will do something special for you on a monthly basis. Francis, it's that time of the show. It's the time where you get to plug the things that you're doing, the stuff that you're into.
Yeah, go to sinceresarcasm.net. A name that I can't believe I've never changed the website name. That's a 10-year-old website name, and I've never changed it. But sinceresarcasm.net is my website. You can find a podcast on. You can find Online Friend Simulator on there. The one show that I do, I make an entire website. I feel like I should put more than just one thing on there, but there's only one thing on there. I don't even put up old episodes of other shows I'm on there anymore, like I used to, because I'm just lazy. But go on there. You can find at least my socials and stuff. Just find my socials there. You can find like my Twitter feed and Instagram, and you see that I posted a picture of an Atari 7600. So there you go.
Like I said, at least it wasn't a 52.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to post that. So
26.
What's that?
I should have 2600 though.
If you're gonna post it, it's 26 or 78.
Yeah, because those are the beginning and the end. Those are the two.
You skip over that 52. It's so bad.
Don't have the Jaguar either. The Jaguar was nothing.
The what?
You don't remember the Atari Jaguar?
It hurts my ears when you say that word.
Jaguar?
Thank you.
Really? Jaguar? Well,
yes, there's a fucking U in that word, man.
Yeah. Okay, Brit.
Okay.
Jaguar.
Guilty. Totally guilty of that. I don't know at what point, but somebody said that in an interview on like a BBC show. Yes, exactly. Jaguar. And the guest was like, I don't know how you guys say it out here. Jaguar. And the host looked at him and said, yes, exactly how it's spelled.
Like aluminium.
Well, I think that one's weird, but look at that. We talked through the whole fucking outro music. It's my turn. I have to start the music over though. So you can find me at 303_ninja on the Twitters, 303ninja on the Instagram. Scrolling across the screen for everybody that's watching, you can see all the ways to contact us. We really want you to call into the show though, so we can get you to participate with us. It'd be fun. Everybody that's listening, 314-764-7631 for the text, voicemail, or call into the show. Same for Herb. What?
They call it Herb.
Herb, yeah. You can email the show at thepoipodcast@gmail.com and YouTube, POI Podcast, all that plus. There is some synergetic thing happening with the POI name. Just don't expect there to be total synergy because I can't figure that out. I think that's everything. I hope everybody has a great time. Make sure you like, subscribe, and do all of those sort of things because I spent I spent time figuring out how to get these things on here. I'm not spending any fucking more money. I've done enough money spending. And we are as you see there, we're on the road to 20. We're also on the road to 2,000. We hope that you will join us for that as we go through this. And I'll even do the horn for Francis. Oh, it's the fucking wrong button. And road to 2,000 because I actually just was in contact with the people that need the 2,000. And I'll talk to you, Francis, about that in a minute. But everybody else, we will be back here next week around 7:30-ish Mountain Time. For some more fun and hopefully a voice actor here pretty soon. A real voice actor, not me and Francis. But I hope everybody has a great evening, and we will see you next week. Bye-bye. See you later. Bye.